So a containing safety. He knew it was likely to not get the snooker. It's a get out of the inning shot.
Yeah.
Distance. If you don't know what to do, give your man distance. Your opponent, that is. Give him 9 feet.
Yes, Aloysius Jaap went pretty deep in the World Pool Championship a couple of years ago while still a teenager.
Extension call.
So the potential is there from Jaap.
Former World Junior 9-ball champion in 2014.
You don't fluke a championship like that.
No, he's a great player, works hard on his game. I follow him on Facebook. Many, you know, Southeast Asia, there's a lot of quality out there. Shane missed a very difficult shot on the one.
Were you surprised he went for it rather than going for a contained shot?
Well, you know, sometimes if you have only a difficult safety to play where you can gain only little profit, then it's better to attack. To attack with a shot where you can at least win with.
Toe just running down the clock, not snatching at it. We have seen players, as soon as they hear those beeps, they do tend to rush into things, but Toe knew exactly what he was doing there. Now the depositing of the ball is not the issue, it's getting position on that red 3 that's the issue here for Jaap. And he's going to go around the houses to get it. Must avoid the scratch. And doesn't.
Off stroke. Ball in hand.
Puzzled look by Aloysius.
Start the clock, please.
He knew, I think he knew he was always going to come close to that side pocket, playing it the way that he did. So this is going to be straightforward for Shane and Skyler.
What about that 6-7 meld up the top of the table there? Any issue there?
No, the 6 goes past the 7. Make sure to leave an angle on the 7, and even without an angle, they can come straight back to the 8.
Just like that.
Now come back approximately to where the cue ball is now. At least leave that kind of an angle. You don't want to finish straight on the 8. Now with low right, short rail, long rail. Maybe he's playing high left, I mean, yeah. This is all good.
Yeah, he can put this down with his eyes closed, Van Boening. Just like that. So the Americans on the board first. Off the scratch from Singapore.
A 2-time World Pool Master, Van Boening, and a 5-time US Open champion. Describes as what he likes about pool, the traveling. And that's something you need to have. That's maybe the biggest asset that sets him apart from other US players, is that he travels a lot. And not only now that he's winning, but years ago as well. To be a top professional, you need to be able to travel to play intercontinental.
Yeah, very limited if you can't do that. This young man seems to have a similar attitude as well. Skyler Woodward talks about the honour it is to play alongside Shane Van Boening, the honour it is to play in the Mosconi Cup. He seems a very humble and very respectful individual, but no shortage of self-confidence and self-belief to go with it as well. That's a good combination of qualities to have. Well, he hasn't got a wing ball. Is he going to get anything at all? Nope.
We haven't seen that too often today. A dry break.
Yeah, the orange 5 just rattling around the jaws of the pocket there, but not interested. That's quite a spread of balls around the table as well. This is a really good opportunity for Singapore to get right back into this. 6-7 is something that's going to have to be negotiated. You can see the green 6 to the right of the table there, and the brown 7 all the way the other side. That's assuming they're able to get to that position.
Good shot by Lian Han. That extra half a diamond roll extra towards the next shot helps, even though it's a lot of angle. I like being this close to my next shot.
Well, they've got to slide that 4 ball down the same channel. And the 5 waiting invitingly as well for his turn. Don't want to get too close to that 9.
Uh-oh, Chinese snooker. And he's straight in on the 5.
Yeah.
Straight in means that they need to draw this ball to get back to the 6.
Oh, we've seen these fouled.
Pooh. Well, he can cheat the pocket. He can make the
call.
5 in the side of the pocket, play topspin, and just position the cue ball below and to the right of the 9. That's a shot he could play without forcing.
Now, is that going to do enough work? It's rolling nicely. Couldn't do it much better than that, really. Yap. It was the positional shot that his partner left him in that really created the difficulty.
Still nice effort though.
Yeah, it really was.
To get that much speed in the cue ball.
But this one is a headache.
Yeah, Lian Han is going to play safety here. Make sure to control the object ball in the middle of the short rail.
Well, he's certainly got distance.
Nicely done. Even though possibly the cut is on.
Well, if it is, we've already seen Van Boning is aggressive. He's a shot maker.
Extension call.
There's no bank on, no cut shot on. Thinning the 6 is very difficult, sheer impossible. He's playing full on the 6.
He wanted that cue ball tucked in behind the 9. But still, distance.
Yeah, it's not an easy shot. Now super thin with a wild cue ball if they choose for offense.
Well, let's see how ambitious Yap is feeling. Well, he was feeling very ambitious, and it didn't pay off, and then the worst possible scenario for the second time.
Start the clock, please.
Aloysius Yap has scratched. And the first time it cost him the rack, and the second time it may well cost him the rack.
Yeah, more than ambitious, I suspect it was an act of, or a choice out of despair somewhat. There were safety options, but many players here in the tournament, because of the speed of the cloth, you know, they don't have so much confidence in controlling both cue ball and object ball when playing the safety.
It's something we've seen very often. We don't talk about that much, the importance of good shot selection. And as you say, they don't have a lot of time to process the options.
Yeah, that's why it's so nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Because we get to see these top players set a foot wrong now and again.
Well, Aloysius Yap certainly made a misstep there for the second time. Twice he's scratched. Twice the Americans have said, thank you very much. And just like that, the number 5 seeds jump into an early 2-0 lead. So this one currently going according to script.
Now, if we look at the result of this shot, in general, I believe if it's difficult to understand or see what the player was trying to do, then either there was a technical breakdown or he didn't make the correct choice of shot. So if players are missing by more than an inch or two.
Rack 3.
Shane Van Boning, one
USA
of
to
the
break.
big breakers,
Nearly 2 racks, isn't it?
especially when it comes to the table break. When he puts his hand on the table, then especially he is one of the biggest breaks in the world.
Well, the 2 ball has gone. The 1 has rattled around the jaws and bounced out into the middle of the table for a clean look for Woodward here.
Yeah, we're going to see Woodward's queuing. Needs to come with a big shot. On the diagonal, the cue ball on the 1. All the way over there and back for the 3.
We've seen a couple of these missed. And there's another one that is nowhere near as easy as you might think. What he has got is a roll that's produced an eclipse. I think that 3 has pretty much obscured the 1 ball here. So he got lucky.
Yeah, he didn't get it. I'd like this queuing though. I mean, I like how he hits the ball. He has a very simple and clearly defined stroke. Makes it look
Extension
very
call.
simple. Now Leo Hantan would like a half ball hit here.
Table's getting messy. Nasty little cluster there of 1, 3 and 6.
Shane is looking if he likes the kiss shot, the 1 into the rail, into the 6 to make the 1, but the, you know, he can make it, but it's not sitting natural. Now, if the 6 were quarter ball, half a ball more away from the rail, it
Extension
would be a
call.
nice shot to play. Now he'll take in consideration the defensive alternatives. He's going to play that kiss shot, I believe. No, defense.
Yeah, thought better of it, didn't he? Went through the permutations and said, you know what, that's the smart move.
Yeah, this is nice. In one pocket. It's the chess game in the pool disciplines. They say if you don't know what to do, look for something simple. And that's what he did. He saw that there was no lock-up option available, so he just, you know, he just waited.
Yap will look to send that cue ball as far up the table as he possibly can, hoping to get a block off that pink. Nicely played.
Yeah, good speed there.
Not the pink, not the pink, the orange, excuse me. The execution, perfect. And the bonus there, he's got it pretty close to the rail as well, so it'll just hamper the queuing action a little bit for Woodward, who is now jacking up with the short stick. Oh, where's that going? Down.
Foul stroke.
So ball in hand for Singapore. They have won this safety battle.
Start
They
the clock,
get the
please.
initiative. Now they need to punish. Get that first point on the board.
He was really jammed up there, wasn't he, by that wonderful safety shot from Yap. So a ball in hand.
Yeah, if they manage to take advantage of this opportunity, you know, it almost will count double that point, because anytime when your opponent plays a containing safety, a sort of a negative safety, as did Shane Van Boning, And if you then win the safety battle, you know, it's a blow. It's a blow to the opponent. Just like winning a push-out battle. You outsmart the opponent.
Well, that was the big shot of the rack.
Yeah, now the second the big shot of the rack comes up.
Yeah.
Off angle to the top corner pocket.
This is a tough one to take on. But take it on he must, Tolian Han.
He's gonna fire at this one.
No. It's a bad miss, that one as well. It was a tough shot, but that never even got close. Would that go into your category of a butchered shot? Well, you throw those butchered shots out there once in a while. Would you put that in the list?
Yeah, actually, yeah. You know, his execution wasn't clean. I mean, sometimes you can miss a shot, but whilst have given it a good try, staying down, following through nicely.
It wiped its feet on the way in, didn't it?
They're at the back. Casciola and Campbell, the players from Australia, in the stands. They had a good run against Canada. They were 5-5 at some point, with a chance to win it. They didn't, and that's why we're going to see John Morra and Alex Pagulayan back in the arena in round 2 tonight.
Nicely rolling the 7. Well, once again, for the third rack in a row, the Americans have pounced on a Singapore error, and they are punishing them for it. Comfortable that for Woodward. He and Van Boning have managed to put the first 3 racks on the board without breaking a sweat. Self-inflicted wounds doing for Singapore, rack after rack. Let's see if they can recover when our coverage of this match continues after this short break. Singapore came into this one as the underdogs, which means they've got to play a near perfect game, eliminate mistakes, but we've seen a pair of scratches from Yap and then that miss on the 2 from Toe led in the Americans. So self-inflicted issues for Singapore have led to them losing this match 3-0 at the moment. Plenty of time to turn it around, but they need to do so quickly. Earlier today, wins for China, the Netherlands and Austria. Later tonight, round 2 action begins. Japan against Canada. What a mouth-watering prospect that is. And then the number 13 seeds Finland against the noisy India. Wing ball down, another ball down for good measure.
Yeah, can't wait to see Makkonen and Immonen in action again for Finland tonight. They were so good in the first round. Former winners, twice a semi-finalist, a runner-up. They have a great history in this tournament.
That's another combination that could go very deep into this week.
But India, Rajendal and Amar Kang are going to have the crowd behind them. They have loads of fans who will be coming in. Drums will be rolling. All that tonight to come. Now, is it of any use to attack that one ball? Hardly. Unless he feels like doing a Corey Jewell, jacking up from here and drawing back. Monster shot, that would be. He's now looking at the cut on the 2 ball. So if he would slow roll the 1 in, go forward 1 diamond. Does he like the cut on the 2? Is it there? Actually, Woodward is supposed to like that cut on the 2 because he'd be the one playing it.
There's the slow roll. It's the two-way shot, as you talked about, and he's got that hidden away behind the 5, and he's tried to use the 5 as a blocker as well, and that's another headache for Singapore to try and unravel. So you talk about being smart and intelligent on a pool table, and you know, a guy's natural instinct is to attack, but there's a time just to play it safe and conservative, and he's got that one absolutely on the money. Just about legal, was it? Yeah, Brendan Moore having a look at that, and he's happy that there was contact with the rail.
Double kiss.
Well, they're sort of looking at it, but they're not arguing about it. That was a very fine margin for being an illegal and an illegal shot. No issues there, but we could be here for a little while here. This is one of those who's going to blink battles, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be difficult to make a legal stroke.
Extension called.
Now it's going to be very difficult to put spin on the ball. Spin to get it back from the rail into the 1. Managed to do so. Now Shane wants to make sure to end up with the cue ball above the 5, from how we see it now, to not give them a route down table. And he hasn't done so.
Well, it helps to be a bit of a contortionist for a shot like this.
Okay, there's an opening. An opening to change the course of things. A very gentle ticky. Now Shane and Skylar Woodward play a lot of one pocket. In one pocket many small shots are played, like this one.
Yeah, that was always coming.
So they have that skill down, those very gentle rubs. Now how to get to the 1 ball, you know, there are ways to play the kick. An alternative would be to make an intentional foul, roll the 5 into the 1 and wait for a better option.
Well, yeah, I think just went for the hit and hope option. Was that just losing patience there?
Well, I didn't think the window between the short rail and the 5 was that big. I would have kicked it just like him.
But that 1 ball finally released. And Van Boning puts it out of its misery and then heads down the table for the blue 2.
Cue ball far enough away from the rail for Woodward to dig in there. Hit it below center. Yes, quite a bit of angle on the 2 ball. But with backspin he can hold it to float in between the 5 and 8 to the short rail. Didn't like that, and there was room, so he played it in a more natural way. Stunning the ball, following the tangent line.
Well, that's another rack where Singapore are not getting blown away, but they are not making the big shots when they need them.
You know, it's a lost safety battle, a missed ball, a scratch.
Yeah.
One mistake in every department and then you're down 4-0.
Yeah, they've made a mistake in every rack and they've paid the price. Every rack. This more of a forced error, this last one, than one of the scratches or the poor shot on the red that we saw earlier.
On the big stage, that's what it's about, to win the initiative, win the safety battle, or to come with that one big shot. Open table should be run 7, 8 out of 10 times at least.
Looking good, this, for the Americans. Capitalizing on their opportunities, doing the simple stuff, and more than halfway to
Now,
the 7.
Before the evening session, we have had here in York Hall the press conference, the first big press conference for the upcoming Mosconi Cup in December. Ticket sales are starting soon. Keep an eye out on the website. But Johan Ruysink, the former European coach, is now going to be the captain for Team USA. So everyone is curious to what extent he's going to be able to melt that team. And it was interesting to see how respectful Shane Van Boening was talking to and about Johan in that press conference, referring to him as Mr. Johan. You know, maybe it has started to build a little bit. Johan is here in the arena checking out Shane and Woodward. It's, you know, it's, if there's a leader for the team, someone to, you know, these guys play for themselves, they play for the game, but it might give them just that little bit extra. A little bit of foreplay for that upcoming Mosconi Cup.
Nice break there by Van Boening. Plenty down, plenty of space between the balls. And Mr. Johan, as everyone seems to be calling him, is keeping a very close eye on proceedings here. So you've got to be respectful to the new coach. You want to be picked for the team.
Well, I don't think Shane needs to worry about that.
You never know. That's travelled and travelled.
And if they, so Johan and the players, if they all can manage to kickstart Shane into his A gear during the upcoming Mosconi Cup, you know, it's going to be different.
Why is it that the Americans have struggled so badly after over the last decade or so? Is it just a difference in depth of talent?
Well,
Europe versus USA?
That's a long discussion, and I think most important is to look ahead and to think about what you can do to make things change. And Johan and them guys are going to be worrying about that. You know, they have young players, they have young ambitious players, willing and able to do the right thing. The most important, the willingness to fight for one another, to cover each other's back, both on the table as off the table.
Well, it looks like it's another rack that's low on highlight reel stuff. We're not building a big highlight reel out of this with some razzle dazzle, are we? There's been nothing really to get us out of our seats.
No
but it's
need
been
to.
very efficient.
Efficient when you can, spectacular when you must. Another day at the office for Woodward and Shane.
And it is now 5-0, and it's looking very bleak indeed for Singapore. And it looks like this one is going to go according to the script as well. Now, our colleague Ted Lerner and you have both been telling me throughout the course of this competition, take the seedings with a big pinch of salt, but we look like we're going to have 15 out of 16 seeds going through to this second round, so somebody knew what they were doing.
Yes, few surprises. There were almost surprises in the first round, and here's Johan Ruysink next to Konstantin Stepanov. He will try to coach Team USA to their first Mosconi Cup victory since '09.
Thank you. Rack 6. USA to break.
In
Nearly
09
5
when
racks to
Dennis Hatch was MVP in Vegas. He was the leader of the pack there, taking the Americans to the victory.
Now where's the 2 going? That's dropped as well, so that has changed the picture instantly. Yeah, once again, the wing ball has been very effectively dispatched by both Americans in the course of this match, and the 2 languidly, gracefully dropping top left of the table as we were looking at it.
Now Shane looking if he can miss the 3 ball, cutting the 1 ball on the side. So if he cuts it, if he would go off of the long rail into the 4, it's difficult to judge, and often this not knowing for sure results in missing that object ball.
There's some kids with a Millwall flag in the crowd.
Extension call.
If you just wanted a funny shot. Oh dear. Well, that's an unexpected lifeline then.
Well, you know, we saw him thinking, considering, not really being confident about the exact line of the cue ball. And it's probably not going to be, you know, a big thing that 1 miss. It's not going to cause him life danger, but, you know, gradually they'll start thinking about
Extension
the rest
call.
of the tournament, and you want to figure things out. You want to avoid those unforced errors. So this tells us that Woodward doesn't see enough of the 1 to make it. And where Shane was pointing with his tip is where he told Woodward to bank the 1 ball towards.
Well, that's smart play again from the Americans, because they know they can win these safety battles.
Now this is always nice, that 4 ball. The 4 ball is helping Leon, because if he hits that 1 full into the 4 ball, it will stay. He knows where the 1 ball is going to be. And all his focus then can be directed towards the speed of the cue ball.
Just a little bit coming off the rail more than he would have wanted there. It means that Van Boning will at least get to see this 1 ball cleanly. And this safety battle will continue.
He's playing the same type of shot there, using that other object ball, the 3 ball, as a blocker. Nice shot.
Well, the Singaporeans have just got to maintain their patience here. The last time we got into one of these battles over the 1 ball, they eventually were the ones that cracked. This is not easy.
Oh, he hit that nice. Exactly as intended. A little thicker, a little thinner, and the Americans would have had a shot on the 1.
Now that might be a very clever shot there from Woodward. It might just be poking its nose out.
Yeah, but even with these types of shots, you know, seeing the ball is almost a trap because it invites you to play for a direct hit.
Yeah.
But hitting that one ball directly will leave it over the left-hand pocket, meaning that you can only get that save by hiding the cue ball. So the veteran, Leon,
But
tried for that reason to play a kick shot.
I mean, it was a nasty situation he was in. I mean, there are unforced errors and then there are just forced errors, and that certainly doesn't go down in the former category. That was a horrible situation he found himself in there. And once again, it's going to cost him the rack. I mean, this is a bit of beautiful brutality from the Americans. They're just toying with their opponents, forcing the errors, building up the pressure, and then when they get their opportunity, they just slam the door shut. This looks like they're heading for the hill.
Now watch Woodward's cue action. He's gonna play a draw shot. This looks so simple, so mechanical. Very straight, very crisp. Nice acceleration. For the old school Europeans who are tuning in, it reminds me of Niklas Bergendorf a little. Former Swedish elite player.
What a beautiful shot.
And another opportunity for us to see, to witness Woodward skewing on this draw shot.
Well, it's textbook stuff, isn't it? Just playing very patient, very composed, forcing the errors, waiting for the mistake, and then pouncing, making it look ridiculously easy. It's been a competitive match, but all the shots that matter have been played by the USA. They're on the hill. Welcome back to the World Cup of Pool. This has been the story of day 3. Seeds all the way. China disposing of Portugal. Holland shutting out Hungary. Austria edging past Sweden. We could have another shutout tonight as the USA are on the hill against Singapore. Then we go to round 2 where there's only one non-seed left. India, they'll be closing out the evening against Finland after we've seen Japan and Canada who start off round 2, which will be coming soon the way the Americans are playing here. Shane Van Boening getting the wing ball down, getting the one ball, getting another ball. There are balls spread all over the table. This doesn't look good for Singapore, especially the way that 2 has just rolled on past the 8. This might be good night Singapore.
Yeehaw! Beautiful break. Beautiful cue ball. Crouching back to avoid any kiss. Not the easiest of shots now for Shane on the 3 ball. Nice. Has done as much as he could do with that angle without forcing it, and it's enough. It's enough for Woodward.
How frustrating must this have been for Singapore? They've not played consistently badly, but every time they have slipped up, they've been so ruthlessly punished for it. It's going to be tough to take.
So this has been a quick fix. A long wait for the first round match, and when it started, it was over in the blink of an eye.
Well, that really was impressive from the Americans, shutting out the Singaporeans. A couple of scratches, couple of errant shots, missed out on a couple of safety battles, and that's all they needed, the Americans, to take this one to love. Pack your bags, time for Singapore. They'll bow out. The United States move on. And who knows, 9 years after winning this championship, Shane Van Boening of the United States, with a new partner now, could be on his way to a second World Cup of Pool Championship. We'll have some reaction from this one, and then the second round starts in just a couple of moments.
Welcome back to York Hall in East London, the World Cup of Pool, where USA safely through against Singapore 7-0. Let's have a look at the stats. As we can see here, fairly one-sided match. Average balls on break, 1.3 for USA, 1.0 for Singapore. Break and win rate 6-0. It's exactly why the USA team won that 7-0, and I'm pleased to say that Shane and Skylar join me now. Shane, you must be more than pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we played great. We only made one mistake, and that was the one ball that he missed, and we pretty much took advantage of their mistakes.
And Skylar, how was that for you? You know, playing with a legend in the sport on a stage as big as this. Were you a little bit nervous before you stepped out in the York Hall?
No, not really nervous. I know I got a great partner. I'm only half the team, you know. I can only do my part. So, no, I'm not really. I wasn't really nervous, just tried to do my best.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because the Singapore team didn't really get going. So, I mean, it's effectively all on you guys to perform the pool that you know you can do. And you did it.
Oh, I mean, once again, I mean, they didn't really perform well because of the table layout they didn't get. I mean, they only made a couple mistakes, and we took advantage of those mistakes.
And we heard, or I've heard from Ted, that you handpicked this man to your left to be your partner. A word on his performance today?
Well, I played him quite a few tournaments, and he's a great player in the United States, so I decided to pick him.
Well, listen, congratulations on a fantastic win, guys, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the second round.